Void Bastards is a roguelike game about the surprisingly deadly banalities of corporate bureaucracy. When you're not fighting crew members of various vessels who are infected with space madness, you're collecting pens, stamps, and other workplace necessities to fill out the proper forms needed to simply exist. The art certainly isn't bogged down by any red tape, but unfortunately the gameplay can be. The first and most striking thing you'll notice about the game is its art style. Developer Blue Manchu really committed to every frame of this game looking and feeling like a comic book. The title screen is the cover, complete with approval from the Cosmic Code Authority, and every screen after is separated into panels using white gutters. Text sound effects like kaboom and vorp are emitted from weapons, and you can determine which enemies are behind doors by the sound effects rippling in front of it. This, along with the cel-shaped graphics and vivid teal and orange color schemes, sell the feel of a pulpy 70s sci-fi magazine. It does the best job of translating the feel of a comic book into a video game that I have ever seen.
Oxygen levels depleted.
Recruiting replacement client.
Going hand in hand with the art style is the game's sense of thoroughly dry British humor. Most laughs come from the purposely mind-numbing bureaucratic tasks you're given to do, as well as the artificially chipper tone of Steve, the robot who is giving you orders. The enemies you fight and the weapons you use can elicit chuckles outside the menu screen. Throwing an explosive kitty bot to distract disgruntled void-infected crew members of a trashy space cruise ship is inherently slightly amusing. This game posits that bureaucracy is so boring that you might as well die, which is a sentiment I think most people can appreciate. Yeah.
Recruiting replacement client.
Unfortunately, leaning into the boringness of office work fares better for the dialogue than it does for the gameplay. While the weapons are largely fun to use and there are a variety of interesting enemies to face, the game begins to feel repetitive after a few hours in. And it stays that way through the end. The objectives you are given are always to find 3 parts needed to build a specific item to help repair the ship. There's no straying from this course, and aside from tougher enemies showing up, nothing actually changes once you complete a mission. You're simply asked to do it again. Each ship you scavenge being semi-randomized helps with this, but you'll become familiar with ship archetypes quickly enough that the surprises don't last for long. This all results in the game having a lackluster ending. It's not a satisfying accomplishment because you've spent so much time going through the motions that you wouldn't notice it if it was the last level if the game didn't tell you.
Recruiting replacement client.
Void Bastards is ultimately a good-looking and humorous game that suffers at the expense of its own joke. Bureaucracy being boring makes for good punchlines, but tedious gameplay. Ship layouts get repetitive, and there are too many different resources to manage, like food, scraps, individual parts, and more. There is fun to be had with this game. Hacking turrets, shooting a tourist with staples, and irradiating secretaries are all things I look back on fondly. It just needed a little more variety to cut through the red tape. Oh, there's nothing left. Guess I'll die.
Life support systems critical.